All right, hi there. We are working on Leonardo's tree. We are working on challenge part 3, passing info to the branches. So far you should have a tree that has a draw that moves upwards, branches that get added, and right now it looks like a pretty sloppy mess. We definitely need to break these branches into something a little bit smaller and something that we're going to actually be able to see that are somewhat defined. So let's take a peek inside tree draw, because realistically this is where we should be kind of deciding on how big things should go and what size we want things. So in order to actually give a size to our tree draw object, we're going to have to make it so that its constructor takes in more information about what it's supposed to be like. In this case, my trunk is 60 by 60, okay, and each piece that gets dropped off, each branch ends up being 60 by 60. So we need to start off by giving it an actual size. So we're going to say int width. Okay, and this will give our tree draw object a particular width. So let's start off with changing the size of our green foot image to, well, actually, hold on. Let's start off by taking this width and storing it somewhere, because we're going to need that for later. So let's create a variable that we can store this in. We'll call it int w for width. And we will store the parameter width inside of w. Now, width, of course, will be, this parameter is going to be deleted. We can't use the width throughout our project. As of this particular bracket, by the time this constructor is complete in this particular bracket, width no longer exists. So we have to store it in a variable, an instance variable that we can use later on. So we've created a width for this. Now, well, we haven't created it. We're going to have to get that information from elsewhere, because as you can see, when we start to compile, there's going to be issues, okay? The first one I'd like to deal with is the issue over here, the fact that Sky is going to be unhappy because all we've given is an angle. Okay, so now what we're going to need to do is we are going to need to give tree draw a particular width of branch, and I want our tree trunk to start at 60. Okay, because that's what we had originally started to. So that should fix that. Now, in order for the size of our branch to actually be 60, okay, we're going to have to change some things in the constructor. So you can see we have 60 here. We're going to replace that with width, because whatever the tree draw object is given, okay, this image should follow it. Okay, so we're going to change the width of the green foot image. We're going to change the oval to also be the width that was decided by whoever called on this tree draw class. Okay, and so that should deal with that. Now, of course, when we create new tree draw objects, we're also going to have to give it a width. And as we kind of outlined, or as I guess, Leonardo said, the branch of a tree should be half the size of the branch below. So that's what we're going to follow, is that idea. Okay, so the error I'm getting is actually when we create a new branch to the left and to the right. And it's saying that we need, it says here, constructor tree draw and class tree draw cannot be applied to given types required int found int. Okay, reason actual and formal arguments differ in length. They're talking about the fact that tree draw now has 2 parameters versus 1. So we're going to give it that second parameter, and as Leonardo said, take the width. So what did we store the width in? W divided by 2. Okay, so that's going to be half the width of the branch below. W divided by 2. I'm going to compile that. We're going to press run and see what happens. Okay, so we can kind of see these little dots that are coming up, but the tree builder isn't following. The tree builder, if we go and look at it, okay, it's set to, well, be 60 by 60. So of course we need it to also take in a width. Now we never change the size of the tree builder after we've put it down. That's it. We've created it. That's it. So we don't need to store width inside an instance variable. Once we're at the end of this constructor, we've done all we need to do with it. So we're going to simply replace everything that says 60 here with width, so that the green foot image ends up being the width we ask it to be, and so does the oval that's drawn on that image. Okay, so we get an error, of course, again, tree builder, something about, oh, look, cannot be applied to given types, same sort of argument. It's because we changed the constructor. So new tree builder needs to take, as we told it, an integer that's going to represent the width. Now, in this case, when we're adding tree builders, right, we're adding the current or pieces of the current width. So we're going to just use W. And W on its own should solve our problems here. Let's check it out. All right, you got a tree starting to happen here. Kind of shifty, bit of a shifty tree, and we're actually going to end up probably with some sort of error somewhere. There we are. I was waiting for that one. Okay, and I'm going to conclude this because this kind of finishes up this piece and portion. We'll deal with this piece in the next video.